I'm really excited to review this next Slizer. Although I don't remember what it's called. Millennium something. Millennium... Oh gosh dang it, not again! Hello everyone and welcome to our Retired Review. Today I'm taking a look at set number 8520, Millennium Slizer. The set was released in 1999, contains approximately 135 pieces, and during time of release was about $20. Alright, here he is, the flagship of the 1999 wave. That's right, the big one. Before we get started, I just want to exclaim, this is all going to be my personal opinion and through the lens of a fan of Bionicle, not a native fan of Slizers. So, let's go ahead and get started. Right out the gate, this set is massively disappointing to me. This is one I was really looking forward to review because I've seen it for years. I've seen an image of it rising from all of the different regions with its giant tire foot, or I've seen pictures of the motorcycle and a little guy that rides it. Well, it didn't live up to either of those really cool expectations. Starting off with the build is flimsy. The torso is solid, it's just everything around it that really isn't. So as far as articulation is concerned, you have articulation in the arms, which is just 1 point because it's the same arm. You have 2 points in the legs, and in Titan mode, these are weighted heavily. Those 2 joints are not enough to keep these legs up, so if you want him in any kind of a dynamic pose, well, that's going to be very difficult to achieve. Further on his back, he's got these things. Are they wings? I'm not terribly sure. They have 2 points of articulation, so you can individually move them and also move them at the same time. I'm not really sure why, but there they are. Honestly, the thing that disappoints me the most would be the head. The head here isn't really affixed to anything, so if this pin is loose, well, it's gonna wobble from side to side. It just kind of goes from left to right, left to right. And it can't balance all that well, which is really frustrating, especially if you want to pose him in a particular manner. As far as his appearance is concerned, I'm not a big fan of how the torso looks. It just looks very haphazard or hastily thrown together. Same with the legs, and same with the back, really. There isn't a whole lot of flow to him. There's not a whole lot of cohesion. And color scheme-wise, he's mostly okay. The only thing that really sticks out is the gold, and, well, I'm not really the kind of person to critique a gold head and nothing else being gold. That would be kind of hypocritical of me. As far as functions are concerned, he's got the basic ones for a Slizer build. He has his torso, which you can turn a gear on, which will cause the upper half to go forward or backward. And you have the disc function, take his arm, put it into place, and throw the disc. All in all, this model here is extremely disappointing. I thought that it was going to be really cool. I thought they advertised it very well. But at the end of the day, it's just very flimsy, it's very floppy, and it's very hastily thrown together. It almost feels like an alternate build, almost. In fact, I think that's what it is. See, Millennium Slizer actually does have 2 modes, and I'm pretty sure they advertised both on the box. Now, I can't say this for sure, I never had the box and I never saw him on store shelves. However, I'm fairly confident that it was a double-sided box. One side showed this, and the other showed this. This, I believe, is his default form, and the one they intended for this set. Because I actually had this built first, because I have this set on loan from my friend Meso. And this is basically all it came with. However, when I built the other form, I had a ton of leftover parts. So I suspect this is really what they want you to have. So let's go ahead and dig in. Starting off with Millennium, he is much shorter now and a lot more concise when it comes to a color scheme. He is just gray-black with the gold head. Again, gold head, I'm fine with it. As far as the build is concerned, it's really straightforward. There's nothing out of the ordinary about it. It's very Torch, Scuba, Amazon-like. Very default mode for Slizers. And that's fine. I don't terribly mind that. It's non-offensive. Functions are the same. He has the gear, he can turn his torso, and of course, the arms which throw discs. He also has these panels on his shoulders, and I'm not really sure I get the point of them. I guess they're just kind of to look cool. Maybe they're supposed to look like a jacket flapping in the wind as you're on your motorcycle. I have no idea. Speaking of motorcycles, let's go ahead and get to the bike itself. The build is actually very well done. I like it. The shaping is very clever, and I don't really have anything negative to say about it. What it can do is the handlebars, the front portion, and the front wheel can turn as if you're turning the motorcycle itself, and of course it can roll back and forth like any motorcycle should. Additionally, Millennium comes with 2 discs. The first being one that is gold, actually tan, though it has a gold plating on it, showing Millennium on his motorcycle throwing said disc, so that's a fun little bit of inception. The other one shows the planet Slizer, and I really like these discs, more so the latter because I love story discs. It's a very nice integration, so if you're not familiar with the story outside of these sets, at least you have a basis for it by looking at some of these discs. So it's a really cool shot of the planet, and I like that. Now the reason I bring up the discs right now is because the motorcycle has another feature. You can take them and put them on the back of the motorcycle so that they're kind of held in place by these little pins. Now it doesn't really work too great. If you can get them properly on, then yeah, they'll stay on there. However, if you're off by just a little bit, well, it's not going to happen because there's no solid connection holding them in place. You're really just hoping the friction is just enough. And that about says it for this model. It's fine. I mean, the motorcycle is straightforward. It does what it does as a motorcycle. There's nothing too objectionable about it. However, it is just a motorcycle, so you're only going to get as much out of that as you would any other bike. As far as Millennium is concerned, well, he is just a Slizer and more of the default model of Slizer. And so while he'll fit on the bike no problem, he's also limited in his own articulation. Now, it being a combo set is good. You know, there's a lot that you can do with this outside of the set itself. And that's why I'm actually going to go back to the other model to close this video out. All in all, this set ended up being a huge disappointment for me. Mainly because I was really looking forward to this large Titan mode right here. It's flimsy, it's dated, there are a lot of building techniques that just seem very haphazard and thrown on, and there's not a whole lot that I like about it. The motorcycle mode is fine, except I'm not super into motorcycles, and the rider is obviously a stature downgrade from normal Millennium, or at least what I thought was normal Millennium. Overall, I wouldn't really recommend this set to anyone. I was really looking forward to it, and maybe a lot of this set's disappointment is on me, because I had built it up in my mind and thought, wow, this is going to be really cool, and when it wasn't, I'm taking it out on it. I don't know, that might be the case, but at the end of the day, I don't know if I can really recommend it to anyone because it still feels very flimsy and very dated. So that about does it. That has been my review of Millennium Slizer. Tell me what you think in the comments below, if we still have them, or head on over to the message boards at board.ttvchannel.com. For next time, normally I would do a year recap, having all of the Slizers from 1999 present in one place, though I've opted, for some reasons I'll elaborate on later, to skip that and go right into the 2000 Slizer sets. So, join me next time when I go over the first of the mutant Slizers, Flare. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you all then. Farewell.